Okay. So I guess we will start the day today. Okay. Trying to see what understandings I got last night. I think the understanding I got last night really was that we can't judge. Like in the dream, they showed me like a possible aspect of myself. I say possible because I don't really know for sure if I interpreted what I saw correctly. But I know like when I saw what I saw or what I heard in my mind, it's not like audible. It's like hearing something in your mind. Anyway, but in a dream, but like in your sleep. Kind of show my um a life I could have possibly had. And it wasn't a life where I did what would be considered good things in the 3D realm, right? If we're looking at duality and good and bad, it would have been bad things. And but it showed me the reason why I had that life was to value life more. Issues with loneliness as to why I did the things I did. Issues with wanting to be loved externally. And I learned all those things in a very, very like profound way from that life. I learned how valuable life is, not just mine, but others. And others choosing to live their lives differently is completely theirs to do. So I learned to value life in all, like in a lot of ways. I learned that love comes from the inside, and seeking it from the outside and trying to control others to love you is not going to bring the love that you need. So I learned that love comes from the inside in a really profound way. And I learned connection and loneliness. If you know yourself and have yourself, then you're never lonely. And a lot of the things that I did in that life was because I was looking for love and was looking for connection that I didn't have. I was looking for it externally instead of internally. As a result, I had no respect for other people's lives and manipulating their lives to suit myself. So on a different level, understand I had to do those things and go through that to get those lessons for future expressions of myself. I think. I think. And so now I find because I have that understanding, I still don't know if it's a true life that I actually had it, but because I do have that understanding, regardless of if it was a true life or not, because I could see myself in that life and see the lessons of what I needed to learn. I feel like my perspective on when people do things has turned the dial a little bit, and it's windy. Dog. Dog always fights in the wind. I always find it so curious because I'm an air sign. I love like the wind, like I love air, which I didn't connect to till like recently that yeah, I'm an air sign. That's why that's my favorite element. People are like water, they're like I like air. They're like fire, I like air. I love air. I love that you can't see it, but you can feel it, and it's so powerful. But you can't define it. You can't really like put it in a form then, right? So feel like me in a way. So, but anyway, so yeah, I feel like now when I see others doing what probably are considered bad things on this level, because I am on this level. So I think my first instinct would be on this level, would be my ego response. And then as I'm integrating, looking at things from more in-depth view or from different perspectives. Like that first egoic perspective is not an invalid one. It's just one that's one perspective instead of many perspectives. So I get less of a true look at it. And so when I see people that do things that we consider bad on this dualistic plane that I'm living in now, that would be the first thing, right? I was like, oh, that's a bad thing. Then I could stop myself and be like, no, maybe this is playing out, maybe it's just lesson, maybe I don't need to know what the lesson is for that person that's learning that lesson, but I can allow for grace, and maybe it's not an energy I want to partake in, but I could not judge it and not label it. So I think that's what that dream did. And yeah, whether it was true or not, the perspective was given. I think a lot of times too, perspective is given in a way that we can understand. It doesn't mean that it actually occurred or it's true. I think what's most important is the lesson that you learned from what is shown. I think, but yeah, it could be true too. It could be true. And if it is true, I still understand myself if I did those things, and I love myself because I was looking for love. So yeah. Anyway, so today we're going to continue reading chapter 9, because I started chapter 9 in the last episode, and continue reading chapter 9 and see if we can get 10 done or some of 10. But yeah, I was feeling those Bob Marley songs this morning. I don't know if it's because the movie just came out, and so there's a lot of like media about it. I always listen to his songs and stuff like off and on, but that sun is shining is really speaking to me these days. Concrete Jungle too, really loving it. And Real Situation, because it feels like that's where the world is again. Is the world continuously always at that space? Because what he's saying is so profound for the time, but it probably was profound for his time too. And let's know he was seeing the future, and that's a possibility, right? If you're connected to yourself and your wholeness, you would be able to have access to the wind. The wind is interfering with the door because I have the back door open, but I want the breeze, so he don't like how the door moving. Door, something else. Anyways, so yeah, I do wonder that. I do think he was somehow connected, which is true. So he could have been seeing what was to come. Who knows? Who knows? You know. Anyways, okay. So let's put on the glasses because I definitely need glasses. Sometimes I try to read it without the glasses, and it's not, it don't work. All right. I remember, like, I know I was on like a pretty page I was on, but I don't know if I read part of the page or not. I really like the little coffee in the morning. It's so nice. Oh, the other thing I was dealing with last night, I still don't really have an answer for. Yesterday when I was talking about, not yesterday, in the last episode, I was talking about, I was talking about how as you're human and you're trying to not look at things in a dualistic way and kind of look at your own life and in your own individual terms, when we see like the wars and what us as a collective was trying to say with it, and how we can see ourselves in our own lives, in what's playing out, to allow for love and forgiveness. But that doesn't mean like you can't not feel sad about it or be brokenhearted about it, right? Because that's still an aspect of being human, our emotions. And then the book was saying that a lot of those things are playing out in order to get you to emit certain emotions, because certain beings live off our emotions and certain beings live off of negative emotions. And that we have to be in a space of neutrality, because it's like a hologram insert or something like that. So then now I was like, well, I was asking myself yesterday if in order to gain my divinity, do I have to lose aspects of my humanity? Can they coexist? Or can they coexist at a level, but some aspects of my humanity is adjusted? Well, I don't have the answer because I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to enjoy all of the perspectives of being human while also enjoying the perspectives of knowing my divinity, and acting upon it, acting as my divine human self. So yeah, so kind of stuck there. Also, what does it mean to know your divinity? How do you understand that you're divine? Questions. Well, let's go to the book. Okay, I think I see where I left off. So I'm on chapter 9, page 100. Stop that. Page 100, I'm on the bottom of the page in the last paragraph. We talked about the portal in the Middle East being a dimensional doorway or entryway onto the planet for certain energies to find civilization. Remember, when you leave a planetary sphere and go into space, once you traverse certain belts of consciousness, you must find the proper portal to come back onto the planet in the precise time period or corridor of time that you are looking for. They said, remember, like I should know this. So I guess I should know this already somewhere in my beard, right? Remember what? This is how systems are kept locked and intact, and how they are prevented from being raided and taken over. There are portals in the South American continent, the North American continent, Asia, China, and all over the globe. The huge portal that we are presently discussing is the portal in the Middle East. It is gigantic. Should I take a sip of coffee before we go into this? Because I feel like there's going to be some heavy stuff. Some heavy understandings, understandings, and overstandings. Okay, let's get into it. Many holographic inserts or dramas have been inserted through the portal to upset the minds and beliefs of the population. Since this portal is in the midst of crisis, it is a prime candidate for holographic inserts, and also prime for a belief system to alter this chaotic world and get everyone to move in a different direction. Be aware of your feeling centers when these kinds of events begin to occur on this planet. The Middle East is a portal where many dimensions meet and where entities from other dimensions can come onto this planet. Oh, it is a hot spot. In recent times, in the last 40 or 50,000 years, Many civilizations have surfaced and many religious dramas have started in the Middle East. Because of the vortex, holographic inserts are easier to produce in that area, just like movies are easier to produce in California. A potential holographic insert in this portal is the arrival of extraterrestrials from space. Lord, have mercy. What? Or Christ returning, or some God returning, or some savior, or some reason for everyone to begin to follow one way of thinking. At this time, as we see it, it is not of light. An example of a holographic insert that was put on the planet in the past to change the course of history is the crucifixion of Christ. The drama that was played out and passed on historically to you is not the reality that the Christed one came into play. A version of this entity's life was molded and designed in a holographic entertainment movie, which was then inserted and played out as if it were real. Christ came in as a committee of beings over a period of time. Well, I didn't see this coming. I did not see any reference to Christ in this book or an explanation of what really occurred. I do not mean to sensationalize or cause any dramas. Please, I'm just reading a book. You take it as you pass it through your own understanding and discern what you believe is right or what's not right and stuff like that. Okay? This is not to say that what they're saying is correct or not. Could be correct, could be not correct. This is for you to discern for yourself. I'm just going to read what they say, okay? Oh my goodness. I didn't see this coming. I'm sorry. I don't like to get into religious things because I feel like religion divides and I'm more like focused on allowing for all aspects of religion and how people connect with their divinity and not judging it. I'm just seeing the love in them if I can, you know? So I did not. Well, let's go. Let's go. Let's venture. Christ came in as a committee of beings over a period of time. The story that you have been told is a dramatized, marketed version, a very controlled version of who this entity was and is. Part of the Christ drama you have been taught was a holographic insert, and part of what you will discover in the future about the Christed one has the potential of being another holographic insert. So be aware. Most people would say that we are sacrilegious and of the devil to say this. How can we question what the Bible says? How can we question all of these things? Because they were all said and done by patriarchal organizations that promoted themselves. This was all they were. That was all they were. They were utilized to bring back control of the energy on the planet. In reality, the Christed one was sent as a system buster, a member of the family of light to bring light through the portal in the Middle East. This created a way for many to enter and see the reality that would prepare the consciousness of humanity for the cycle that will terminate in approximately the next 20 years, depending upon how events proceed. The Christed one came not as one entity, but as a number of entities influencing people in humanity's dark hour, an hour when human beings were ready to understand their mysteries. One of the things that was not promoted to you in a very truthful way was that the Christed one was very well accepted. The kind of energy that the Christed beings brought to the planet was received very well. There are a number of dramas going on with the Christ entity. There is the original blueprint, the plan of the Christed committee to come in, to spread light or information, and to show humans what the human body is capable of doing. Then there are the beings who said, what are we doing? What are we going to do about this? This one is coming in our portal and we want control over this portal. How are we going to be able to use this energy? It is a free will universe and we can do what we want. So they created a holographic insert of the drama of Christ being crucified to create fear and emotion out of someone else's intentions and to move consciousness in a way that was not originally intended at all. This means that in a free will universe, it is possible, particularly in portal areas, for one group of gods to read another story and insert their own version of it. At the time, perhaps, this does not affect many, although over time, the impact of the holographic insert is eventually known. We know this is frustrating for many of you. Yet what we are doing by sharing this information with you is getting you to move, feel, remember, and not think so much. This is not a process of logical thinking. It is a process of feeling. What is going on with your body? Ask yourself, what is my identity? How can this be? Who am I within it? Then you will begin to release more of who you are to yourself, and you'll be able to figure out many things. Do you understand why you have come here to bust the system? Do you understand how complex frequency control is? Do you understand how fine and thin reality is? Do you understand how available reality control is to the human species? If humans would harmonize with one another and act as though we were all provided for and believe and create through our minds. We said some time ago that light is underestimated on this planet. Truly, it is. If it became known how many individuals were gaining sovereignty over their thoughts and lives, and how many of them are broadcasting this sovereignty and living to teach it to others, those in charge will do something about it rather quickly. Light is underestimated, and it is a good thing because light is going to liberate you all. You have an exciting assignment, an enviable job, and you have all the help you are going to need to complete your task. There has been a tremendous influx of entities and motherships on this planet that are now acting as intermediaries or perhaps literal transducers of energy. The beams of light that come to the planet come from old and ancient star systems that have been working with Earth for eons and eons. Many of them are simply numbered by your astronomers, while others have names you are familiar with. Sirius. Sirius is my favorite. Did you know it looks like so anyway. Sirius, Arcturus, Orion, the Pleiades, and so on. Beams of light are being caught by quite a number of motherships surrounding Earth, filtered through an entirely different system, and then blasted onto the planet. Many of you have implants inside of you to respond to this communication and to bypass psychotronic warfare and interference that would keep your frequencies jammed and prevent you from being able to receive this information. These implants are not negative. You were not abducted and probed to receive them against your will. They are etheric implants that you call to yourself as tools to receive off-planet energies. These implants are being activated now. Many of you are finding that you are feeling altered. At different times of the day, particularly when you're going to sleep, you are hearing a variety of tones or feeling a kind of electric vibration in your body. When this information is beamed to you, your body must be able to receive it. In order for your body to receive it, it must be in a certain state. The information is like a current, and if your body cannot handle the current, it moves into a state of discomfort. The people of Earth were programmed for this time, and there's no one incarnated upon the planet who can say that they made a mistake and did not know what was going to occur here. No one was born upon this planet without a mechanism inside of them that can be activated to tune into or turn on to the ability to house these frequencies. We have encouraged many of you to move out of the logical mind because the logical mind will come into conflict with this information and electronic energy. In the next number of years, your understanding and vibration with the frequencies coming to you will be like turning on your own radio. You will have a direct telepathic link with motherships broadcasting to you. There will come a time when you will never even think of going to a channeling session because you will have your own link up with information. The wealth of information that will come to you will be of great reassurance. It will be broadcast to fill you in on what is happening. As you become more trusting, you will be able to manifest because, okay, as you become more trusting, you will be able to manifest before you a light entity who will come physically and begin to teach you. What? Channeling or the process of bringing information through another being will become completely archaic as each of you will manifest your own literal being to teach you. Oh my goodness. We will manifest our own light being to teach us. The thought to me is very fascinating. I think it's possible too. I want to think it's possible. Yeah, I think the thought of it is intriguing to me. Something I would want to experience. My own light being teacher. But I like to imagine stuff, so you know, there's a bird outside, so cute. And this morning I was walking my dog and a dove flew right where we were and like it had like a sign right above where we were standing. And it was a low sign, so it wasn't like really a high like sign. And it just sat there and just vibing with me and the dog. I don't know what it means, but I felt like it could have meant something because it came out of nowhere, this one dove and just like a gray dove and just sat there and with us and stayed for a while we were there. I don't know. Anyways, okay. Can we stop with the excitement of manifesting my own light being teacher? In the meantime, we are here to teach you, to remind you of who you are, and to give you an idea of what you can draw to yourself. What we want more than anything else is to assist you as members of the family of light to succeed in liberating the humans. Focus on the dance of yourself. To what tune will you dance, and to what magic will you perform, and to what heights will you be willing to push consciousness to give it a new definition of possibilities? End of chapter 9. I kind of like chapter 9 though. I kind of like the new vibes it brought, right? The new excitement, the new hoping and wishes, the new things that you'd want to see. Okay, chapter 10, a new paradigm of life. Let's see how big this chapter is. Can we finish it today? Let's see. Maybe, no, it don't look so big. Let's see. I don't think it's too big, you know. I think I don't know. It does have some pages. Maybe we should start and see. I'm just so excited. That previous page. Yeah. Okay. Chapter 10, a new paradigm of light. Who are the bringers of the dawn and what is their role? The bringers of the dawn are those who carry the rays of the sun and bring light and knowledge. They have an ancient organization, an ancient society, and an ancient spiritual bonding that keeps them doing certain work within a certain star system. You are members of the Bringers of the Dawn. Otherwise, you would not be drawn to this book. What? I don't know why I feel happy about that. Anyway, I'm so happy that I could be myself on this podcast. Like, you don't understand. I guess if anyone ever sees it, of course, there'll be people that judge my little personality traits and my mannerisms, but it feels so good to just be myself. My weird, authentic, goofy, strange self with my strange interests and imperfections being perfectly me, you know? And for those of you, if ever I've seen that, allow me and accept me as I am very grateful for you, that grace that you've given me. I hope to extend to you and to others, you know? Anyways, let us go. Okay. You are members of the Bringers of the Dawn. Otherwise, you would not be drawn to this book. The members of this elite organization come to Earth at different times to do their work. This occurs when a cycle has been set and events are perfect for them to allow the energy from the high cosmos and the energy from Earth to merge within their own beings. The energies from the cosmos are always coming to Earth, and the energies from Earth are always lifting up toward the cosmos. Humanity creates the sacred bridge between Earth and the sky, which some have called the Rainbow Bridge. Stop! I love rainbows. And yesterday, okay, the night before, not last night, I got a really good understanding, a teaching through rainbows. I've always loved, like, I love rainbows. Like, I love rainbows. Like, I love rainbows. And that's why I like to, Sun is Shining when he says, I want you to know I'm a rainbow too. I really connect with that. I feel like I'm a rainbow. All these aspects of myself, but together so beautifully shining and showing itself in all its colors, all its colors. And but I love rainbows in like in anyway. If you look at the rainbow eucalyptus tree, you can see it in the tree trunk. When they blow hole of the whale is spewing its water so it can breathe. You can see it in the air, in the light, the water. Sometimes it's a rainbow. See it with waves crashing. Saw it the other day with the sprinklers, with the light from the sun and the sprinklers for the grass. You can see it in the sky. You can see rainbow clouds. I know you're gonna believe me, but for my birthday, I was able to see an iridescent cloud. Iridescent and rainbows. I just love rainbows. This is a synchronicity for me that they say that humanity creates the sacred bridge between earth and sky, which some have called the rainbow bridge. The bringers of the dawn allow these energies to merge so that the dawn or the light is awakened within them. They then bring that dawn to civilizations. This is who you are. This is what you are doing. So, as multitudes of others, you are the bringers of the dawn. As bringers of the dawn, there's a certain stance that will facilitate the commitment you have made. This stance is one of allowing and moving out of self-indulgence and the discounting of your experience. For the bringers of the dawn, each link makes up the whole. No matter how it is constructed, no matter what strengths or weaknesses it has, and no matter how big or small its role, strength or weakness or influence are not necessarily to be compared. They are simply the stance that consciousness in its own dance of reality chooses to focus upon. We teach you about yourselves and assist you in unlocking what is inside of you, not what is outside of you. As bringers of the dawn, you are in your darkest hour before the dawn, when you may wonder if there is going to be a ray of light. Then, almost instantly, the light will begin to show from nowhere. Where will it come from? How will it change your thinking? How is existence as dark as it can be one moment, and then the next instant there is light? As bringers of the dawn, you will that light to dawn. You are trained for this. It is your forte. You, the bringers of the dawn, also known as the family of light, agreed to go through the process of mutation to evolve yourselves into higher beings by intention and conscious agreement. You bring light back to the planet, bring about the new evolution of humanity, and make the cosmic evolutionary leap in awareness and intelligence possible. By anchoring the frequency first inside your own bodies and living it. The family of light comes from a central place of operation, a source within this universe that acts as a broadcast station. There are central suns within your galactic system and a central sun within this universe. The Mayans named this sun Alcyone. Alcyone. Others know it by other names. The sun has light and light has information. To make this very simplistic, members of the family of light come from a place that is the central storehouse of information from the universe. You cycle or spiral out from the central sun and carry the information from it throughout the various systems in the universe. You plot, plan, and travel. You are very unique in this regard, and you know it. You know when you look at the population that you are very different. You love rabble rousing and you love to bust systems open. When something says no trespassing, it is for everyone else and not for you. You go wherever anything is shut down so you can open it up. You operate by separating yourselves into many multidimensional entities and then going into systems to change them. You sometimes incarnate on these systems for hundreds of thousands of years in preparation for the time when you may be called in to bust the systems. You have a resume to back you. For example, you incarnate on Earth a number of times so that if the call goes out that Earth is going to be busted open and the paradigm is going to be shifted, you can say, I have been there 247 times in this many varieties. And once I was able to ascend my body, I did this, and this. If I go for this game plan to bust the system, I'm certain that I can refresh my memories, pull them up, defy the laws, and complete the assignment. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and the plan has to be aborted for some reason. That is a very frustrating experience for you. However, when all goes according to plan and you succeed in busting the system and creating a new paradigm of light, it is like a cosmic orgasm for you. Members of the Bringers of Dawn or the Family of Light work in teams. You don't go into systems alone. You need each other to do this work because you cannot hold the frequency by yourself. By growing in as teams, you increase the odds of successfully carrying out the plan. You are like rays and light spirals of the central sun that are very intelligent, and you are guided by a great intelligence inside the central sun. Light is the kingdom of consciousness, and it has a purpose in existence. The story we tell you today is a story that you can comprehend. Every time you speak to humans and you comprehend more, we give you more. We do not want you to think that light is more noble than anything else. Something in the essence of your soul connects you to this light source and drives you to this profession. But it does not make this profession better than any other profession. There are others who have different sources and spiral out from different intentions, and they make the ball game possible. You are learning about this. We remind you that Prime Creator creates all. and it endows all things with itself. Just as you are seeking self-awareness, Prime Creator is mastering this as well. It seeks to be aware of itself within all things and to endow the things that it is within with awareness that Prime Creator is in them and aware of its existence. The awareness is like a mirror going back and forth between Prime Creator and all creations, down to the smallest little bug or ant that crawls on the ground. Just as Prime Creator is in light, it is also in so-called evil, knowing that evil also has a divine purpose. Many kingdoms of consciousness exist. Kingdoms of consciousness are fancy words for a concept that we would like you to grasp. Within the kingdoms of consciousness, there is a likeness of energy, and there are many kinds of kingdoms of consciousness. The family of light comes from a particular kingdom of consciousness. When your consciousness learns the laws of creation, manipulation, and management of reality, it is quite easy for you to manifest into any form you choose. For those of you who have activated your shamanistic and native cultural memories, you will know that part of the teachings of native cultures was how to go into various realities and change them. The shamans in certain cultures were revered for this. They carried genetic coding, and there were very few on the planet in relation to the entire population. They held the magic and mystery that kept the process alive. They were able to move in the forms of animals and various other shapes and guises. This was quite a profound science indeed. Because the science exists on the planet, of course, it also exists off the planet. Earth is a happening place right now, a hotspot. It is coded to start its own revolution, not necessarily just a revolution in the United States to change lifestyle, but a dimensional shift that is going to alter all of the space around Earth. Many extraterrestrials who are curious about life forms know how to rearrange their molecular structures and come onto the planet in a disguise as humans. In times, the tumultuous change when dimensions have the potential to merge and collide, as you are setting up here for Earth, there is a great gathering of energies that come to participate in the big show. The big show happens on many levels, not just in 3D. A chain reaction moves through all of the dimensions of existence and all of consciousness. Some beings beam themselves on Earth in disguise as humans, or they incarnate, picking an opportunity to get a ticket onto this reality to be here for the event. Perhaps some of those you sense is not native to the planet and not here as system busters. Are not here as systems busters, are here to observe, to participate, and to understand so they can take the information back to their own systems, which are always evolving. There are intelligent creatures who are able to manifest as humans and play the role out to perfection. Sometimes their memories are intact, and sometimes they have the veil down. It is not always easy for these beings to come here with full conscious memory of who they are or who they are elsewhere because of the frequency control. You will grow in your awareness over the next few years that you are members of the family of light in disguise as humans. Part of the planned evolution of the human species and the planned rearrangement of the human DNA is for each person to begin to open a memory bank and remember who they are. In different dimensions of reality, there are, of course, different experiences and different laws. In 3D, where you have been locked as a human species for so long, there is a limitation in what you can experience. The third dimension is designed to focus on one existing reality at a time. It is designed this way according to frequency and nerve pulsation, and the rate that frequencies adjust the nerve pulsations within the body. You are magnetically and biogenetically tuned and designed The members of the family of light are much more than human. Characteristically, you are supreme achievers in the multidimensional realm. One applies for a position in the multidimensional realm as a member of the family of light. As members of the family of light, you have incarnated on this planet to prepare yourselves to do your work. What is your work? Your work is quite simple. You carry frequency into systems that have limited light frequency because light is information. It is not cold computer data information, it is information that is transmitted biologically through electromagnetic send out of consciousness. Through an electromagnetic send out of consciousness. This is what you are experts in. If you were to have a business card printed out for yourselves, then I'm sorry, if you were to have a business card printed out for yourselves when you are in full memory of your identity, it would say something like Renegade member of the family of light systems buster, available for altering systems of consciousness within the free will universe on call. You go for it. This is what you do. This is an aspect of your identity that you all have in common. You are here in the millions at this time. You are here primarily to remember who you are, to operate multidimensionally within the system, and to teach humans. The natives in this place that have been under frequency control for a long time, a new system. You are disguised as humans. As soon as you begin to realize this, you will extricate yourself from the human drama and the human dilemma of frequency control. Before frequency control was instituted 300,000 years ago by the reading group of creator gods, the native species was somewhat clever. They had a very evolved system of receiving information and could directly receive on the planet from space contacts. They also had many different ways of distributing knowledge as it was received. Distributing knowledge on the planet at this time is based on technology, something outside of yourself. It is another clever bill of goods you were sold as a means of control. A long time ago, communication on this planet occurred through contact with one another by the use of internal mechanisms, not by technology outside of yourself. Most humans cannot grasp their history goes back more than a few thousand years. You will learn, remember, and teach the planet that it has a history of millions of years. First, you will uncover and integrate the history of the planet for the past 300,000 years so that you can expand the picture of the human dilemma. Remember, the history is all inside of you, not outside of you. In your current technology, light-coded filaments are being created outside of your body in symbolic form as a representation of the transmission of intelligence through fiber optics. The human species create outside of itself what it must learn is inside of itself. It is part of the mastery of light. When the great library of yourselves was put into chaos, there was a little bit of data left that keep the species controllable, operable, manageable, and yet functioning on its own, performing tasks and stimulating it as a life form and form of consciousness to produce a certain frequency. Fear. This fear has been promoted for the past 300,000 years on this planet as a control substance in every version you can think of. When a human being resonates electromagnetically and broadcasts the frequency of fear, a transmission of consciousness is sent out. Where does that fear go? Where do your thoughts go? Where do your emotions go? You have already read that collectively consciousness forms food. As systems busters, you have come in to eradicate the food source or to change the food source from one of fear and chaos. Those who are nourished by that food source will have to either change their diet, or leave the planet. You are here to bring information, light, and comprehension that there is potential for change and a food source that works in cooperation and resonates with light. This is what you are about and what is your responsibility to achieve. We understand that some of you are very puzzled about how to do this and how to bring about this state of impeccability in your own lives. One of the primary things we ask each of you to do from this moment forward is to not base your future experiences on your past. I have to underline that. All of you love to drag the past in as an excuse for what might happen in the future. You're famous for it. But you must act as if you are newly beamed down, innocent as a babe, and ready to step forward into the circumstances of your daily life. As you awaken each morning and step forward each day, state with clarity what you intend to experience that day. If you're not doing this or cultivating the habit of doing it, then you best get going. It is the way that reality is designed. So each day, let me write that down. As you awaken each morning, step forward each day and state with clarity what you intend to experience that day. And then just allow it to come. Don't try to figure it out. As we have said before, the big secret that has been kept from the human species is that thought creates and thought creates reality. So let's underline that. All reality is created by thought. It is all a subjective experience. But electromagnetically, you are being controlled in such a way as to create experiences with a certain spectrum of reality. You who are members of the family and light are well traveled and well attuned to the possibility of bringing new frequencies in. You have come here to hold the new frequencies being beamed to you from space that are setting into motion a new pattern inside your bodies. As you begin to know that this is your purpose, you will begin to design your purpose consciously. So, to get clear about what you want and to experience it, no matter what area it is in, this is an absolute. You're going to underline that too. As you begin to know that this is your purpose, you will begin to design your purpose consciously to get clear about what you want and to experience it no matter what areas it's in. This is an absolute. Each of you likes drama in your own way. You get bored if you don't have stuff happening. This is why you formulated this plan, this raid. In actuality, this reality or world was set up by entities of the family of light a long time ago before the reality was raided. As members of the family of light, you were the original planners. There were many rich funds of consciousness here that were free to become attached to and to utilize. When the entities of other families that you have come to call dark took over their planet, they did a very good job of keeping light out. Light is only as big as your paradigm can get at this time, but there are other teams and kingdoms of consciousness out there as well. For now, we will just work with light and dark. The dark team did a very good job of keeping light out for a long time. However, that time is up. You are renegades of light. They say this a lot. You are renegades. It feels like they're trying to drill it in like a mantra. You are renegades of light. You are renegades of light, and you decided to come back and stage another raid of consciousness. Millions of you at this time, because you knew in working with Prime Creator's energy that there was a high probability that everyone would achieve a great richness of consciousness. As you begin to pull its light into your bodies and onto the planet, many people who like drama may be affected. They may be pierced by light and have a reaction because the more light you bring, the faster it will spread. The light is definitely growing on the planet as you remember that you are the native species, working closely with the original planners here to take back your world from the raiders. Okay, and that is the end of chapter 10. I think I'll end there today and we'll start chapter 11 in the next episode. Chapter 11 is called The Name of the Game. Ooh. I'm so happy I got the book and then just stay on the Audible because I feel like the Audible is really good, but it just intrigued me to get the book and to have it in writing. And it turns out the book has like 18 other chapters and so much more intricate understandings of what's going on. Anyways, today was a good morning, man. We listened to music together. We had some thoughts, some questions, and then we got some interesting learnings from the chapters 10 and 9. 9 that we'll be able to bring our own light being teachers. That's what stuck out to me. And I think what was 10 focused on? That we are renegades of light and we bring it here. I feel like all the chapters say that too. We bring the light frequency here. I think by being truly ourselves and being the love that we are. Loving our own little frequency and dancing in it. Yes. To find our own frequency would be to follow our heart's desires, which to me means to follow my joys. I don't know what it means for you. It may mean something else. If it does, please share it. And to do that, that'd be dancing in my frequency. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, also we learn to intend every morning with clarity what we want for the day. That creates our reality. So that's a really important aspect. Intend what you want for the day and let's see how it unfolds. I wonder if we can intend in larger spaces of time, not just daily, but can I say every day I want this experience? So I don't have to remember. Or I want this experience for the month or the year or for this decade. A certain experience. I don't know. Anyways, I hope that you have a great weekend. That you are loved and that you know you are loved. You're gentle with yourself and you have experiences that teach you in the most beautiful, enjoyable, best way for yourself. New things that keep you interested about yourself and the planet and the universe. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.